Hi, it's Imabi Song, your guy from Rising. I'm recording this podcast in the morning, and this is around the time most people prepare to go to work. Most people are even at work at the moment. And one beautiful thing about we waking up to go about our daily duties is the very fact that one of the things that make it so beautiful is the fact that you have a specific and definite purpose you are pursuing. It is that purpose that makes you to wake up in the morning and feel like, man, I am so enthusiastic to face today because today is a step closer to achieving my goal or my goals. It's a step closer to achieving my purpose as a man. But one thing you can never separate from achieving your purpose as a man is having beautiful relationships that are important for you, relationships that make you grow. The truth is that while you are trying to achieve your purpose, you are definitely going to have to do a lot with relationships. You're going to meet different people, people that can help you climb up the ladder. You're also going to meet people that, are there to hinder your climbing the ladder. So today I want to talk about the women in your life, especially for a man who is so keen, who is so focused, on achieving his purpose. I want to talk about women that come into your life basically to stop you from achieving your purpose. This is six ways to know that the woman you are with is going to come between you and your purpose. We meet different kind of women, and sometimes you're meeting a girl for the first time and you feel like, man, this has to last forever because this is everything I've been looking for. And then you go in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you see that, no be so. Yes, it happens a lot of times in all our relationships, and we get to discover people as we spend more time with them, and we get to see that it is not always the first, judging a book by the cover is not always the right thing to do, especially when it comes to women. And a saintly looking woman, or a woman you met and she was all good and everything, might actually be the exact kind of person to keep you away from achieving your purpose. But how do we get to know that this woman is going to stop us from achieving our purpose? Now, the first reason or the first way you can know that a woman that you are with, or that you are dating, or that you're married to is going to inhibit your purpose is that she always uses sentences or statements like this. If you love me, you will. If you love me, you will stay with me. If you love me, you will do. Now, when a woman uses statements or sentences like, if you love me, you will do this, or she says, you don't spend time with me enough, it's always about, it's always about your work, it's always about your business, Not many men right now can tell their women categorically and very clearly that I love you, but there are a lot of things right now that are more important than spending time with you. And I'm not going to compromise on my values, my goals, my boundaries, my business, my growth, my work because of you. Many men cannot come to doing this particular thing. But one thing you should know that any woman that actually comes from this particular line of thought is a narcissistic person. And you know one thing about narcissism, when a person begins to have this solipsistic idea, this solipsism is something that is very common with women, and let's not lie about that. It's very, very, very common with women. But when you find a woman who is aligning with you while you're facing your purpose, you will find that she would tend to numb these solipsistic ideas to make sure that you are able to become the best version of a man that she can be with. When a woman is trying to pull you away from whatever you're doing, she comes from the perspective of she wants more from you, and she wants you to starve those things you are growing of your attention and pour the attention to her. Now, we know that this always ends in a disaster because women usually that come to a man who is purpose driven, they come to the man because he is purpose driven, because this man is chasing his purpose. This man is a man who is serious with his life. He has things that he cares about, things that he's growing. Now, when they see a man like this, they are attracted to the fact that he's focused. Oh, I like for myself a focused man. He's hardworking. He has a business. He has work he's building. He has values that he holds dear, and he portrays himself as a man of class. Okay, she likes this man and now she's with the man. And all of a sudden, she wants this man that she was attracted to because he was focused on his purpose to stop focusing on his purpose and now start focusing on her. And then you wonder, the reason why you're attracted to this man in the first place is because he's focusing on his purpose. You see one thing about women. Women always want to steal you from your purpose. But one thing that many men who are not wise get to discover later on is that by the time they begin to leave their purpose and give more attention to these women will get bored. These women would no longer find them attractive, because one of the things that made them find these men attractive in the first place was the fact that they were focused on their purpose. So when a woman starts bringing up all of those things, trying to make sure that you starve or you pay less attention to those things that you owe dear, and you pay more attention to her, especially when you are growing yourself as a man, that person is not the right partner for you to grow with. You can't grow with such a person. Such a person is going to come between you and achieving your purpose. We have heard of stories of women who actually said, I love my husband better when we were poor. And you're like, okay. He said, then he had more time for me. You can see that the only reason why she wants her husband to be poor, or she prefers the poor version of her husband, is because he had more time. When you had more time, when you didn't really have much and you were just all around with a particular woman, and at some point putting or withdrawing from her bosom to put work or to put more work into achieving your purpose is making you grow and making you achieve more. And at that point in time, she wants you to stop achieving more and start focusing on her. Of course, our relationships, our families, they have a place in our lives, and they have a very important place in our lives. But you see, when women start trying to draw you away from a purpose that you have been pushing and trying to build yourself on, it is actually from a solipsistic point of view. And I have seen movies whereby a woman will try to sabotage her husband, or try to use juju to make sure that the man is poor again. Why? Because you want the man to love you more. Can't you see that is so selfish? And just imagine you trying to make a man poor, make him lose his achievements simply because you want him to spend more time with you. But that is a thing that can be possible when you are with a woman with that particular level of solipsism. Now, one of that way that you get to understand, or you get to know that a woman that you're with is going to really affect you. How you get to know that this woman you are with is not the best kind of person to align with when you're chasing your purpose, is that she's always suggesting something new that other guys are doing outside to you. Now, you're on your purpose. Maybe you're a musician, or let's say you're a YouTube content creator, or you're a doctor, you're anything. You see, we could have women who are with you and they keep on suggesting to you that, what guys these days are doing? Guys are doing this now, why don't you try that? The next day she's saying that, I was with some of my friends and she told me that her boyfriend is into crypto. Why don't you try crypto? Always trying to push you, especially when you're growing, to focus on the next big thing or the next thing that is happening, Sometimes they do this from a point of care and the fact that they want you to grow, they want their man to be good, so they want their man to know about the opportunities in town and all of those kind of things. But you see, an excessive use of this kind, or an excessive expression of this sort is something that is going to kill you later on. Because as a man, how many things can you focus on? The beautiful thing is that anything you focus on and give life would grow. So it's always good when you can streamline your focus to one thing and keep at it. You need a woman who can encourage you to put in the work every day. Not the woman who's telling you that there's this other new thing. She's always suggesting something new. Something that she saw one of her male friends doing. Or something that she saw one of her female friends' boyfriends doing. Always trying to suggest a new life. Something else to you. Always not being satisfied with where you are or whatever you're doing. Things you have said that this is going to be my life's purpose. You need a woman who is going to align with you on that grind. Not a woman who is trying to pull you out or always trying to find something, the next best thing for you, the next shiny thing. Such a woman is going to be difficult to please, and she's definitely going to be one of the reasons why you stop pursuing your purpose. Another way to know that this woman is not the best for me while I'm growing my purpose is that she has never supported my work or my business openly. See, if you have a woman that has not supported your work or your business openly, whether by advertising for you or patronizing you heavily, such a woman is not the type you want. You see, we have women who have never patronized a man that are dating. They have not patronized business once. No, that woman doesn't love you. Women are one of the greatest consumers. They buy stuff. And the truth is that if you actually have a business and you sell stuff, she should have patronized it once out of love. That is one. Another thing is, a woman, even if she doesn't patronize, when you have a work, when you have a business, she's always going to be pushing it. We have women who actually push their men a lot. We have women who are actually talking about, my husband is a doctor. We have women who actually always push the business that their men are into. Always pushing it. I had this woman, she was always pushing her boyfriend's complimentary card, always pushing it everywhere. You see, when women want to love you, they are ready to help you grow. So if she has never supported your work or never supported your business openly, and she is not like your number one fan, then she's most likely going to come between you and your purpose. You see, sometimes your purpose might be to be an academician, and maybe you just want to read books, you just want to study, you just want to, you could have different goals that some other people might not exactly find as, is this exactly what you want to do with the rest of your life? But your purpose is your purpose, really. And if she's never supported your work or your business, it's going to be difficult because you're going to be finding a lot of obstacles on your way to achieving your purpose. You need a woman with you that can help or that supports you enough for you to be able to, you get what I'm talking about. You need a woman who is able to love what you are doing because you do it, and able to provide the necessary support you need to grow. You need that. Another kind of woman I think you should avoid if you're a man who is looking to achieve his purpose is a woman who always wants to have sex. She always wants to have sex. Now, it's the common saying that men are the ones that always, want to have sex. Women don't want to have sex. Women are very, very innocent and, But we all already know that, especially if you have been in relationships with women or found women who are comfortable with you, women want to have sex a lot. And you can actually have a woman who every time is always pushing to have sex with you. As a man, you need a woman who is not always taking your sexual energy. You need your sexual energy to also be put in other aspects of your life. When you say a woman that loves sex so much, it looks like a jackpot to most men. Most men feel like, exactly, I want a woman who love sex so much. Why would I want a woman who doesn't love sex so much? I want a woman who, because they feel like it's just going to be sex, sex, sex every time. First of all, you cannot have sex every day. You would always get tired of that. It's always the attraction or the want or tension for sex should build up for you to enjoy sex. If you have sex every time, sex is not going to be interesting anymore. Sex has to be built, it has to build some level of tension. So even when you are with your woman, you can't have sex all the time. It has to, you have to gather some level of want before you have sex. And that is even that's not exactly even the point. The main point I'm trying to point across here is when you have a woman who is always about sex, it is easy for you to want to always indulge, because as a man, it's difficult for us to refuse sex. Once there is sex, yes is usually the answer. And you find that kind of woman every time she's always making the move for sex. You find yourself having sex when you should be thinking or when you should be doing some other thing. The truth is, when a man is building, he needs to spend less time having sex with women, especially having sex with his woman. The truth is, that's just the truth, man. Because sexual energy is a very, very important form of energy that you need to use for other things. Because all energy is basically sexual. All energy, can be expended by different means, and you also expend sexual energy when you engage in sexual intercourse. You need the energy to grow other things in your life. You need a woman who's actually also pushing for these other things in your life. A woman who is so interested in having sex, every time having sex, who has a very, very high libido, or always wants to express that sexual want every time with you. It's easy for the attraction to wear out, one. And secondly, it's really difficult for you to say that's your woman, because you know what I'm saying. Now, the fifth reason, I've given you 4 reasons. The fifth reason why she's not exactly the kind of woman you want around while you're building and chasing your purpose is that she wants to spend the money you have now, even when you're still building. You see, the money you are making right now, especially as a young man in his 20s, gaining on 30, or just entering your 30s, or as a man who is building anything in life, is the money you are making right now is basically for you to develop yourself to be a more rounded figure. You need the money you're making right now to invest in your business. Even if you're making money from your business, you have to be reinvesting in the business. The money you're making right now, you're supposed to invest in looking the best you can look, making yourself a more attractive man. You're supposed to be investing right now in your feeding. You're supposed to be investing right now in your fitness. You're supposed to be investing right now in your education, in different things that can make you a more rounded figure. You are not supposed to be spending money on women right now. And if you have any woman who is built for the long term, who is built for the long run, who is built to really help you grow, then you definitely know she cannot be the one who is always asking for so much money. If a girl is always taxing you every time, trying to collect money that you're just trying to gather, you when just they try gather your body, they always won't collect the money when they make. That is a red flag. It's very, very red. So you cannot be spending the money you're making right now. You're not going to grow that way. And trust me, a woman who feels like because she's dating you, she needs to be your money dump, or you need to become an ATM, such a woman is not a person you need to achieve your purpose. Because the truth is that your purpose needs unwavering supply of attention and of different resources that are at your disposal, and that includes your money, your time. Your purpose deserves these things, because for you to be that well-grown, well-rounded man, in your 30s to your 40s, you have to be a man who is focused on putting his resources at the right point in your 20s. If I have a woman right now, because I'm in my 20s, and I have a woman right now that comes up to me, and I know that all she's all about is how she can have the best Friday night, the best Thursday night, every day, right now, no way. She cannot help you build your purpose. She cannot be your supporter. She cannot be a neck for your head. Commit her to flames. Now, the sixth reason and the last reason I'm going to be sharing on this podcast as to why a woman will not be the best option or will not be the best person for you when you are building your purpose is that she doesn't have a purpose of her own. If a woman doesn't have a purpose of her own, rest assured that she's going to be so involved in yours, and most times in a negative way. You see, a woman also has to have the things she holds dear, her own values, things she's building in her life. That's the only way she can recognize when she sees a person chasing excellence. If her goal basically is, I can't even pick out a goal. I can even say, okay, let's say our goal basically is to just be a housewife. Okay, no problem. That is something. If the reason why she wants to be a housewife is because she doesn't want to do anything and just wants to sit down and maybe eat money, I'm not sure that's the right person you want on your corner. But of course, she might want to be a housewife for the beauty of family and how well she can contribute to building up a home which is formidable. Then of course that's some good purpose for her. And when a woman has her own purpose, she can understand you having your own purpose. No one is saying that you need to be with a career woman who is after her career and then she's going to have time for marriage when she's like 35, 40. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a woman who actually has things she sees for her life. And while you guys are together, you guys can have some mutual support of each other. She understands that you are building a purpose because she has a purpose of her own. She knows that this is how she wants life to be. This is the vision she has for her life. And when she sees a man who is focused on is not always being totally available, she is not going to be crying like the first girl who is saying, you no longer spend time with me. I want you to be all around me every time. I want you to do less of your work. If our purpose is to be a high value woman, therefore should most likely have attraction for a high value man. And if she's going to have attraction for a high value man, then she knows what it entails to bag a high value man. The man needs to be able to pursue those things with your help. Pursue those things that make him high value with your help. And that's just how it is. So I'm going to run through them again. First of all, you need women who are less solipsistic, who are not always trying to push their own agenda beyond your purpose. 2, you need to do away with a woman who is always suggesting something new, always not satisfied with what you are doing, always trying to get you to do the next thing the next person is doing. My friend's boyfriend is doing this thing, I want you to do it too. A woman who has never supported your work is never a person you want to have around to build your purpose. She's going to come between you and your purpose. You do not want such a person who has never supported you, who has never bought your stuff, who has never, who doesn't promote you like she's an ambassador for your company. Such a person cannot help you build value, cannot help you build purpose. She's not your cheerleader. She always wants to have sex. You know that you cannot always be having sex. You don't need a person that always wants to have sex. You need a person, as a matter of fact, that is ready to build the tension towards sex. Also, understanding that what makes your having sex beautiful is the very fact that you have a beautiful life outside having sex. Your having sex has a meaning when there's a beautiful life outside you having sex. You need to be with a woman who is not very sex-centered, but of course, still good in bed. You also need to avoid women who want to spend the money you have now while you are still building. The money you have right now is for reinvesting and growing yourself. You do not need to give it to a woman. And the last one is that she doesn't have a purpose of her own. You need a woman who has a purpose on her own. That's the only way she can understand when you tell her you're building a purpose of your own. So that's what's up. You know what we do here. This is Wising with Imabi Song, the podcast. And I try to enlighten men on various lifestyle issues, especially with relationship, dating, and sexual dynamics. I try to talk about style, try to talk about money, and wherever you're listening to this podcast from, be it YouTube, be it Apple Podcasts on Anchor, or wherever this podcast is airing right now, I want you to know that I have you in mind and I'm thinking about your progress as a man. And I want you to keep on enlightening other men that you meet and make sure that we have a world whereby more men are enlightened and more men are stronger and able to lead. That's the only thing that can save the world that we live in right now. So till next time we come up on this show, Wising with Imabi Song, what I can say is stay wising.